Well, we had lived in California. I think we liked the style of more open air, not contemporary proper, but some of those elements. And this wasn't the traditional red brick, traditional Park Cities kind of house. Nothing against those, we like those too, but for our taste, we wanted something that was a little more eclectic and had a little different feature set. So it's funny, she did say that. She said she had to make sure she wanted to show it to me because she knew the minute I saw it, I would say, that's it.
And is it ever? This 20,000 square foot home was the Buntings' first. Not bad for the self-described unsophisticated first-time home buyer.
In fact, complete with some college furniture, which our decorator took one look at and said, none of this, she said, nothing that you have is coming in this house.
We had a TV and a mattress.
That very intuitive interior designer was Merle Talkington, who's created many beautiful spaces in these very expansive places.
It's a great family house to the degree that we've family-tized it, but the house was really built for entertaining. And when it was remodeled in the late 80s, early 90s, it was built for entertaining by a gentleman who wasn't married and who wanted to have big parties, and it wasn't a family house at all. So we went to great lengths to try to make it toddler and infant proof. And when you have giant flowing staircases and 30-foot drop-offs to hard marble floors, your work is kind of cut out for you to be true to the aesthetics of the house, but at the same time make it functional and safe to live in. It's grand. You know, I think the statement of this house of the people that have been here over the years is that it's very grand. I think in a rather understated way, but it's a grand home, truly again built for entertaining. And I also think that it's in a very eclectic home in that you've got such a myriad of different styles in the house, from Mediterranean to some traditional to some modern. It really is a bit of a hodgepodge. And it takes a person that appreciates all of those different mixing and matching of styles, I think, to appreciate the house. The house is from 1920, a wonderful home. It's was really, the credit goes for a lot of the redo to a guy named James Bramlett and an architect from Los Angeles named Bill Hablick, who really redid the main portion of the house in the late 1980s. They're responsible for the primary structure and a lot of the features that you see in the home. When we got a hold of the house almost 10 years ago, we did a complete refresh on the main structure, including the 3,000 square feet that are underground, where we added the media room and the quarters and a host of other things. And then eventually acquired the lot next door to do the expansion for the ballroom, great room, the library, and the bar. But the house itself had a rich history with a lot of different sort of interesting owners. And unfortunately, like a lot of the houses in the Park Cities, the true history on the house was lost in the fire. There was a fire at Park Cities set in the 1920s by one of the most famous architects in town, who had a reputation for hitting the bottle a little bit.
My favorite space is probably this room we're in right now. I just think it's beautiful, and I think it's really elegant and classic. It's not necessarily the most used space, but I think it's probably the prettiest.
From room to room, it's apparent that family is very important to Kelly and Mark. Witness the artful children's work.
We had a lot of big white walls that we hadn't put anything on. And she was in at an art class at Kid Art for 2 years with her group of friends, and they did a lot of fabulous, they learned about famous artists. Then they would imitate them, and there's something similar to a Van Gogh and a Modigliani. So we just framed it and filled all the wall space with her.
Our Van Goghs and Picassos here in the home are actually 7-year-old recreations, or at least compliments to those artists.
That's right.
That we've done. But there are decidedly more pictures of children and by children than there are works of art.
Without a doubt, the Buntings have created quite a cozy place within the obvious grandeur of their elegant Highland Park home.
Whether it's losing yourself in the grand scale of the interiors or losing yourself in some of the exteriors, there's a lot of great places here to find peace and tranquility. And so I guess in total, it's just a very comfortable space for us.